Canon will be holding an event this morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The event is scheduled by Canon USA, which tweeted about it just yesterday afternoon. We don't expect any product announcements at this event, and the reason for that is there's absolutely no chatter about any announcements coming today. And what usually happens is whenever you have any sort of major camera announcement, such as the Canon EOS R5 Mark II, the Canon EOS R1, a new lens like the 70-200 f2.8 with the internal zoom, well, Canon has a huge worldwide supply chain, a retail network, and once things end up in the hands of retailers, things start to leak out like crazy. We start to get leaked specifications, we start to get pricing and images and all that sort of stuff, and well, we just haven't received that yet. And so that's why I know some of you are thinking the R5 Mark II, and no. A credible source has told me that the R5 Mark II is going to be announced in July, and another source has said the R1 also in July. And then just a few days ago or a week ago, Canon Rumors has more or less come out and said the same thing. So we're not expecting any product announcement. However, if you take a look at the thumbnail, this one right here, it appears to be some sort of town hall type event where the audience gets to ask questions. Or perhaps it's some sort of interview forum where Canon gets grilled on a whole bunch of questions regarding their strategy, their product announcements that are coming up, where Canon's planning on steering the ship. That's possible as well. We just don't know, but clearly when you look at the title of the thumbnail, Canon Unscripted, and the thumbnail itself, well, this doesn't appear to be indicating in any way whatsoever, whether you read between the lines or not, that it's about any product announcements. Potentially, they could be talking about what's going to be coming out this year, and I expect them to maybe give us a few more details. That's possible as well. Again, none of my sources have been able to give me any details of what they expect at this event. They say Canon's been very tight-lipped, and we just found out about this yesterday afternoon when the tweet came out, I think sometime around lunchtime. The only live event that we are aware of where product announcements are coming out is on June the 17th. That's right, this is Monday, this coming Monday at 8 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And this is Nikon's announcement of the Nikon Z6 Mark III, which we will have a guest panel with a special guest to talk about the Nikon Z6 Mark III. We're going to start 1 hour before the announcement, where we're going to be talking about all the latest leaked specifications, pricing, who this camera is aimed at, and the competition, which I think is safe to say is the, well, Canon R6 Mark II and the Sony a7 IV. The Canon announcement looks to be, well, curious. And if you have the time, I would, well, check in, see what they have to say. For me personally, I won't be covering the event. Today, at my day job, I have, today at my day job, I have back-to-back meetings all day long. I just don't have the time to cover this event live. I don't have the time to take the day off. But if we do have some rather interesting morsels coming out of this event about the R5 Mark II, the R1, or any other major product announcements, then I'll be sure to cover that, put that out in a separate video. But we do have one bit of news about a new product that Canon is supposed to be announcing sometime here in 2024. And that's the Canon RF 70-200mm f2.8L image stabilized USM Z lens. According to Canon Rumors, it's in the hands of the usual suspects and is expected to be announced sometime this year. And sadly, no further details were given. No specifications, no pricing, no leaked images, and yes, that retail slide that I just showed a few moments ago, that is of the external zoom version, not the internal zoom version with the Z designation. But we can expect the lens to provide parfocal zooming and support Canon's new power zoom adapters announced with the RF 24-105 f2.8 L image stabilized USM in November of 2023. But this lens is definitely due to excite, and it might seem like a complete waste of time because we already have, well, a 70-200 f2.8. What's different about this one? Well, it's aimed more at video shooters, and of course for those who absolutely hate an external zoom, it's got that internal zoom. If you don't have the 70-200 f2.8, you'll probably want to take a serious look at this one. However, for the rest of you, that's a big ask. To whatever you spent on the 70-200 f2.8, the non-Z version, you're probably going to pay something pretty close to that for the Z version. Now, in terms of specifications, again, Canon Rumors didn't mention anything. However, based on Canon's recent patent applications, and we do have a bunch of them, the RF 70-200 f2.8 is expected to be lighter, smaller, and optically superior to the 70-200 f2.8 external zoom. It will likely have fewer components and be made from lighter materials, but we should not expect any exotic materials like carbon fiber, despite a recent patent application which describes Canon using carbon fiber in the lens barrel. Or should we? Do you think that Canon is ready to start using carbon fiber with all its potential issues that maybe they've solved in the lens barrel of the 70-200 or any other lenses coming out this year? Well, it's one of those patent applications that, at least for now, is still on the shelf, but what we've seen over the last, 2 to 3 years, is Canon's been releasing some high-end lenses that are made from more lighter materials, such as plastics. I mean, just take a look at this lens here, the RF 100-500 millimeter. It is really light for its optics, for its design, and it's an L series. It's got the white paint treatment. This is a very lightweight lens, high quality, the 100-500. And then, of course, there's this lens, which was recently announced. This is the Canon RF 200-800 millimeter. And again, for the size of this lens, and this is a big lens, it's got a lot of plastics as well, but the optics are still very good. It's a good, solid lens. These patent applications talking about lighter and smaller lenses these aren't patent applications that are being stuck on a shelf. These are patent applications that are actually being applied to products today. Products that were announced last year and the year before. This is a whole new strategy by Canon to not only reduce the weight and the size, but also the components within these lenses, because if they can have fewer components, even if these components only cost pennies or a couple of dollars each, when multiplied by thousands, hundreds of thousands, or millions of units, that can provide them with significant cost savings. And for you, that means lighter and smaller lenses. It also means the potential for, who's kidding who, maybe not price reductions, but at least less of a chance of price increases. And talking about prices, let's take a look at deals of the week, only this time we're going to focus on deals with lenses, Canon RF lenses. The Canon RF 70-200 millimeter f2.8 L image stabilized USM, the non-Z version, is $24.99, $300 off. The 24-70 L is also $300 off at $20.99, along with the 28-70, $300 off, and $300 off the RF 15-35 millimeter. Taking a look at a few notable camera bodies, the Canon EOS R5 is still $28.99, the lowest price we've ever seen, as well as the Nikon Z8 at the lowest price we've ever seen, $34.96. And I've got links to these lenses and camera bodies in the description down below, with many other links of some incredible deals from Canon and Nikon. They're really the ones offering the best deals. Now, we did have sales on Sony cameras such as the a7S III, the a7R5, and the a7 IV, but many of those have gone. We also had some deals on Panasonic, but many of their cameras are out of stock. So the real big deals to be had right now are at Canon and Nikon. I've got most of them listed in the description down below, as well as several pre-orders available for the C400, the RF 35mm f1.4, and of course the Panasonic GH7. And if you do use these links, I could get anywhere from 2 to 12% back, depending on where you, if you purchase anything. Now, one thing I want to say about these pre-order links and the affiliate links down below is that, you're not going to have to put in any codes. You're not going to have to fill out any forms. They're going to take you directly to the site where you can purchase it as a guest or by logging into your account. And a big thanks to all of you that have used my affiliate links in the past. It's very much appreciated. And what's also appreciated is that you've stuck around right to the very end to watch the end of the video. Thank you so much. It means an awful lot to me. And if you're available Monday morning at around 7 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, I recommend checking into the channel to cover the live coverage with me of the Nikon Z6 Mark III announcement. Even if you're not a Nikon customer or a Nikon fan, What you see in this camera here will help indicate what you could potentially see. This is more of a leading indicator of what specifications we can see in the Canon R6 Mark III than any rumors that we have right now, because Canon's also going to be paying attention to what Nikon's up to. So if the specifications are really, really good on this camera, we can expect to see the specifications bumped up in the Canon EOS R6 Mark III. As far as dates and specs on the R6 Mark III, we have nothing right now. There's been a few wild rumors going around, which we're not even going to repeat. But that's it for now. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have yourself a great day, and we'll see you again soon.